Thank you for taking time to review this presentation. It's focused on the ethical implications of a model used to predict how much food to prepare for a fast food restaurant. For the task, it is predicting the quantity of food to prepare at a restaurant, specifically for a restaurant chain, and that makes fried chicken, that's the main selling item, and needs about an hour to prepare and cook. The key tasks working backwards is identifying how much food to cook, before that making the decision of if the amount of food that's left to prepare could service potential demand, and then before that occasionally checking the remaining food throughout the day. Currently there is no existing model, so this is all done very manual without any sense of how much food to prepare, based off outside of how much food may have been prepared yesterday and working off that number. The insights on how to improve the user experience are creating a set cadence based on how long it takes to cook the food and how long the food stays fresh, and providing that information along to that end user to let them know how much food to cook at which set time. The user experience design, the user would look at a screen that says how much time is left before they have to next prepare the food, as well as how much food to cook for each individual menu item. For uncertainty, the user will see a recommendation based off likelihood of different amounts to prepare. For example, it could be 50 pieces or 30 pieces, and then the user will have the user input to better influence that decision based off factors that the model may not be seeing or accounting for. And then last, the feedback. The user should have the ability to submit feedback on the screen and submit recommendations so that the model can be refined and have additional input over time. For privacy considerations and user info, depending on how a user creates a profile, this information could be considered sensitive based off where they are in the United States, Europe, or potentially somewhere else within the world. Only necessary data should be collected, and the user should have the ability to access or delete that data, depending on what could be potentially violating the law there. And for this type of industry, there's a lot of turnover, and the employee data should automatically be deleted once an employee is no longer working at that specific restaurant. For ethical considerations and bias, while the model doesn't go about making decisions about people, there is a chance that the model incorporates some elements of demographics of the employees working within the restaurant or where that restaurant is located. For fairness, there should not be issues with individual or group fairness, since the model is about predicting food and not on making outcome about a specific person. For accountable, there should be a clear system owner that tracks the performance and understands the model, as well as potential biases that might be built into the model, and make sure that those are removed and clear to the potential user. And for transparency, really focus on a model that's easy to interpret, and if there are elements that should be front and center for a user, to make those visible within the user interface.